It's considered one of the top 10 art collections in the country. Just the American works alone include Edward Hopper, Aaron Douglas, John Singer Sargent, Remington, Gilbert Stuart, and this iconic Rembrandt Peale. But there are challenges. While still a popular D.C. destination, this 145-year-old institution has faced controversy in the past, continues to deal with debt, and now faces an estimated $100 million in repairs and upgrades. Faced with the possibility of selling works from the collection or even selling the historic building, instead this week, a surprise announcement. The Corcoran Gallery and the Corcoran College of Art and Design is now partnering with the National Gallery of Art and George Washington University. It's an idea many say will save the Corcoran and the collection, but others criticize it, saying it will fracture or even dismember the museum. In an exclusive interview, we talked to the three tasked with this unprecedented partnership. Earl Powell, director of the National Gallery of Art, Stephen Knapp, president of George Washington University, and Peggy Lohr, president of the Corcoran Gallery and College of Art and Design. Well, thank you for joining us for Washington Business Report. The business of art is big business, but the business of museums is difficult business. Where is the Corcoran now? Why did you need a partnership?
Well, you have to think about the Corcoran as a 19th century institution, and it's now the 21st century. Many inventive things are happening in this world right now with art and culture. We think that this partnership enables the Corcoran to continue the spirit of the institution with two great Washington, D.C. partners who know the collections business, who know the educational business. Our students, our faculty, our curriculum will be not only sustained and stewarded, but it will be enhanced in a wonderful, wonderful way. The students will still be in the building. On the collections side, we have a wonderful opportunity to do additional research. The National Gallery has a beautiful study center, CASVA. We hope that in many ways we can do a lot of things with the collection and with their care and stewardship of the collection. And the synergy between the two is enormously exciting for what will happen in the Corcoran building in the next many years.
So, Mr. Powell, go through the numbers with me. Are the taxpayers paying for this? Where's the money coming from? And what are your estimates of how much this partnership could cost the National Gallery?
The taxpayers are not paying for this. The arrangement largely is a transfer of the collections. And eventually we will be implementing a modern and contemporary art program here, which will be sustained with private funding. It's the same kind of sponsorship we do with all our exhibitions. But there is no government support as far as this goes. The private sector will fund what needs to be funded with in terms of the programming. The collections will be coming to the gallery in part, and that likewise will be undertaken without additional funding from the federal side.
So, President Knapp, the hardest job as a university president these days is the budget. Talk to us about your numbers and why this makes sense and how you can justify it to your students, your parents, and your board members.
Well, first of all, it's an unparalleled opportunity for our students and our entire university community, and I think for our partnership with these wonderful institutions and for everything we do as the largest university in the heart of our nation's capital. And we're going to need to look at renovation of the building. We understand that. We've done some preliminary work on that, but a lot more work is going to need to be done. I can't give you exact numbers right now.
But $100 million, is that close?
Well, the estimates have been all up and down, and some of those have contemplated uses that are somewhat different from what we're looking at now.
But it won't be cheap.
It will not be cheap, but we are receiving some assets as part of this arrangement that will help to pay for a portion of that. We have to understand exactly how that's going to net out, as we say. But there'll undoubtedly be fundraising component to this, as there is for the National Gallery to sustain its programs, and we're prepared to do that, and we've already started the planning for that phase of how we're going to make this happen. But this was something that was way too good for us to pass up, and I think it is an extraordinary moment for the arts in this nation because of where we're located, because of the power of these institutions that are coming together, because we can create an innovative model for arts education that there's none like it in the world, I think, at this point.
You said transfer of assets. Well, that's part of the criticism from Philip Kennicott at the Washington Post. He says the dismemberment of this collection.
Well, it is not going to be dismembered in the sense that it will remain in Washington, D.C., in the greatest, national gallery that you could ever imagine, and we are not at all concerned that that's really what's going on. This is a Washington, D.C. gift to the nation, and most of it will stay here. For those things that cannot, imagine the communities that would want them. The important thing is we are not selling art, and that's what is so criticized these days when universities try to support operations and and make other moves to sell collections to finance that. That is not ethical in the museum world.
We have to wrap, but I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to explain for our audience who aspires to great things. What room are we in? Who did this belong to, and how did it end up here at the Corcoran?
Well, this is the Salon Doré, and it was purchased by Senator Clark. It was installed in his New York apartment for many, many years, and eventually given to the Corcoran.
I'm going to guess and hope he didn't pay for this room with his Senate salary, but perhaps had other means necessary. I'll have to do my history
know that.
on Senator. I'll have to do a little research on Senator Clark, but I'm going to guess that and hope for that as well. Thank you all for joining us on Washington Business Report. You're getting into the business of museums. You're in the business of art. Good luck to you all as you move forward with this important institution here in the city.
Thank you. It's exciting.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Have a good week. We hope to see you back here next week.